talking about what's going on with the FBI, DOJ, where we're at, Dan Bongino had this pretty epic interview with Hannity this week, and I played quite a lot of clips last night. But I wanted to break down this one that he says. So Bongino is given a list of names to rate 1 to 10, 10 being absolute traitors to America. The only name he didn't give an answer to is Christopher Wray. That was the former FBI director before Kash. Comey he rated as a 10, traitor. Andrew McCabe, 10. Peter Strzok, 10. Brennan, 10. Yeah, didn't need Bongino to tell me that one. But Clapper, 10. And then he said on Chris Wray, the jury's still out, which is very interesting. Coincidentally enough, when Maria Bartiromo criticized President Trump for not firing Christopher Wray in 24, Trump replied, "Well, I don't know. Let's see what the final judgment is." He says, I've been saying it for years, don't sleep on Wray. How do you think those burn bags got into Kash Patel and D&I Gilbert's hands? So the question is, was Chris Wray a white hat the whole time, operating behind the scenes during the Biden administration, saving documents and so on and so forth? I don't know. We are going to find out. Okay, we're gonna watch and see. But maybe he was a sleeper. So it's just very interesting how Bongino said that. Okay, this came out today. So we're getting a lot of exposure. Indictments like SPLC, arrests are picking up. Comey, the warrants out for his arrest right now. All this is ramping up. Well, they're also exposing what the Biden and Obama administrations did, and this is crazy. So Besant says, today the task force to eradicate Christian bias published a report detailing numerous Biden administration prosecutions, policies, and practices demonstrated anti-Christian bias throughout the federal government. Treasury will continue to utilize its authority to end the weaponization of government in accordance with POTUS executive order and work closely with Justice Department. Sure, we apply law fairly and consistently, protect the rights of all Americans to freely practice their faith. I love this, but at the same time, it's a big deal to that they're outing the Biden administration for actively going just against Christians. So cannot wait to see what more comes out of this, because as a Christian, I'd like to see justice. DOJ prosecutors in Virginia are pursuing separate charges against James Comey for allegedly leaking classified info. Blanche's DOJ, not satisfied with just 8647 recent weeks, received NatSec, National Security Probe, that stalled out last year. The Comey investigation, we've been told now that it was going on for 10 months. And so they just nabbed him for the very public outcry of threatening the president because of his post, 8647, right? But it's pretty clear now that was just to get him in. That was just to make the headlines. The real stuff they're getting against Comey is coming now. I mean, the separate charges for allegedly leaking classified info, I believe they got that, guys. So they made the headline, got everybody talking about it, but now we're getting the real stuff. And now I can say pretty safely, I feel like Comey's going to jail. And I'm very excited about that. Very, very excited about that. We have more coming out about people breaking down what Bondi did, and this is very interesting. So look at this. The Trump Justice Department dropped 23,000 criminal investigations in the shift to immigration. Who do you think those 23,000 criminal investigations were? Probably a bunch of people who the Biden administration was just targeting. So dropped those and ramped up the immigration enforcement. And look at this. So district courts, 25% rule in favor of Trump. Appeals, 51%. But the Supreme Court, 88%. That's all on Bondi's watch. So she was able to get through all these district courts and get the Supreme Court to rule for Trump 88% of the time. That's pretty massive, and overturned a lot of these things, also winning appeals courts right. So, guys, everybody's harping on Bondi. She did a lot of good stuff. Unprecedented purge. Department of Justice fired more than 100 immigration judges and hired 140 new ones to replace them. So she also purged the immigration system and set it up to work much better for Trump. It says she may not have been exciting, but she laid useful groundwork to use for the next several years. Just like we were saying, and now you've seen the data on it. X22 says, people calling Bondi a failure misunderstand what she did. Purged disloyal prosecutors, redirected investigations, built airtight cases. Do not underestimate that. That was major at the Supreme Court level. Secured nearly unbroken Supreme Court victories, brought murder rates to century lows. She was the breaching charge, now Blanche delivering the kill shots. Just like I said, just like we said when it first came out. It's that's what it's looking like, and very good. Speaking of the immigration, though, this Immigration Customs Enforcement did this today, which is hilarious. They said everyone's self-deportation process is different. You may want to let your employer, your friends, and your family know you're leaving. You may want to pack belongings or make living arrangements for the next phase of your journey. Remember, if ICE officials arrest you, you may not have an opportunity to do these things. Learn your options on the self-deportation webpage. They make it sound like you're going on a trip. Like it's a tourist trip going on a vacation. That's hilarious, man. The people running the social media accounts for the executive branch are so good. This is just amazing stuff, and it just made me laugh. Okay, this is huge. So DOJ just indicted the governor of Sinaloa in Mexico, along with 9 other current and former Mexican officials on drug trafficking and weapons-related charges. Here is the cleanup, taking out Mexico and the cartels. This move represents direct and aggressive escalation by Washington against the highest levels of Mexican state apparatus. Indictments detail systemic entanglement between regional Morena governance and cartel operations, effectively labeling Sinaloa state leadership a criminal enterprise under U.S. law. Let me read that again. Labeling the Sinaloa state leadership a criminal enterprise under U.S. law. Guys, that is huge. We're taking out the cartels. Trump is not messing around. It's not enough anymore to block the border. Trump is going to end the cartels. This is going to be huge. And I believe once Iran's over, this will ramp up significantly. And honestly, this isn't going to be that hard. It's just going to take major focus for a short period of time. But this is huge. Legal assault by the DOJ decapitates political leadership of one of Mexico's most strategically sensitive states at a moment of national fragility. End to the era of diplomatic shielding for Mexican officials. Move is designed to force a confrontation within the Sheinbaum administration, leaving Mexico City with zero room to maneuver between domestic political alliances and threat of total diplomatic isolation. In other words, take care of it. Deal with the cartels, knock this crap off, or we will, and we will basically make sure you guys, our political alliance with you is over until you're done, until you're gone. That's huge. That's a big threat. Fallout will be immediate and chaotic. Beyond the legal proceedings, indictments serve as precursor to broader sanctions and likely reclassification of Mexican security cooperation. For the Mexican government, the era of managed stability in Sinaloa is over. Sheinbaum is now facing a direct challenge to state legitimacy and physical security vacuum that will likely trigger a violent internal restructuring of cartel hierarchies and government control. In other words, it's going to purge the cartels out of the government. This is massive, okay? The Trump administration is basically forcing the Mexican government to deal with the cartels and purge them, or else. That's what's happening. So this is huge. And again, just a sign of our DOJ for the last year under Bondi was just getting ramped up and fixing itself. And Todd Blanche now is wielding the weapon that she left behind. It's pretty obvious. So this is going to keep picking up. And I'm here for it, but it's also going to pick up here. So Sean Hannity talking to Solomon. We'll just play the clip real quick from Bongino on Solomon.
I'm going to follow up more. John Solomon says there's 4 more crossfire hurricanes. You probably know way more about it than I do, and he's beginning to break it, and it will break soon. I'm going to follow.
4 more crossfire hurricane high-level revelations breaking soon. So is that going to be Tulsi coming out and dropping the bomb? I don't know, but 4 more. Guys, they're waking up the people so that the people accept what happens after. That's what's coming. That's why we're getting all the information first. We're getting this stuff weeded out first, just like Chuck Grassley did with Uranium One this week. We're getting all this out little by little, drip it out so the people have time to process it. And then the DOJ, when they make their moves, everybody's wanting it. That's genius. And everything, again, it's so important to recognize how smart everybody who thinks the Trump administration's screwing up, everybody who thinks they're dragging their feet, everybody who is like they're failing because they're too focused on other dumb things, or Trump's too proud, or Trump's too stupid, or he's got bad AIDS. They're all retarded. It's all blackpilling. It's all psyops. The Trump administration is methodically building everything up, putting everything in place to make moves. They're playing chess when everybody else is playing checkers. And that, my friends, is what's happening. And we're starting to see the results, and it's only going to pick up from here. Year 1 was about getting everything into place. The policies for the government, the policies for the economy, getting the ball rolling on exposure, getting stuff out there, exposing the fraud. It was everything, and then purging the bureaucracies and restaffing them. Now in year 2, it started was January 3rd or something when we did Venezuela. It was right at the beginning of the year. Year 2 was start making all of our foreign policy moves, all of our military moves, wipe it out. And you see how fast Trump's moving. And now we're heading into May, tomorrow, May 1st. It's May 1st now here on the East Coast. May Day. The ramping up of justice is starting here, the accountability. Trump has positioned it all, timed it all, whereas Iran ends here in the next few weeks. The economy starts booming. Accountability is happening, which makes MAGA happy. And all of this momentum carries into the midterms. So it's brilliant watching it. It doesn't mean it'll all work perfect, because guess what? The enemy gets a vote. They can punch, but they're losing, and they're going to keep losing badly. Doesn't mean they won't get a little battle here and there, but this is just what we're seeing is masterful, how they're pulling all this off. And it is happening. Trump he's fulfilling all his promises.